Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks podcast. And today we're going to be doing a player profile and style of play of Kobbie Mainoo. We've done this before 7 months ago, precisely in June 2025. We did this before the season started, and we're talking about his player profile and how he's the future of Manchester United. Check this, exactly on the 30th of June 2025, right? And I waxed lyrical, right? And you just do a simple Google search with regards to that and his style of play and his profile. Just search Kobbie Mainoo player profile and tactical fit. And you would see even my video listed there from June 30. I did a 32-minute video talking specifically about Kobbie Mainoo. And I was very, very detailed in what I was saying. We'll talk about player profile in general. We'll talk about how he fits the team, what he brings to the team. That's what we talked about. But now I'm going to give you an overview. Then I'll tell you what we've come to find out probably 7 months down the line, right? There are so many factors around this, and we're not taking the credit away from him being a good player. This is like I said, I have done a video analysis on Kobbie Mainoo on June 30, 2025. Now, let's talk about Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo, born April 19th, 2005, is an English professional midfielder who has rapidly established himself as a key player for Manchester United and a regular for England. Known for his exceptional composure, technical ability, and maturity, he is regarded as a premier modern midfielder capable of controlling games. Key word: premier modern midfielder capable of controlling games, right? Capable. Facts. Now, his player profile in general: central midfielder, plays as a number 8 with the capability to play as a deep line playmaker, number 6, or an advanced midfielder, number 10. So he can play in the 6, play in the 8, and play in the 10. Capable. Now, strengths: his press resistant, exceptional ability to operate in tight spaces using agility and close control to evade opponents. Composure and intelligence: displays maturity beyond his age at 20 with high IQ positioning, allowing him to break lines with passing or carries. Ball progression: comfortable in driving forward with the ball and distributing accurately. Defensive tenacity: despite a compact 175 cm frame, he is efficient in winning duels and tracking back to break up play. Hear this, right? Capable. Now, what are his weaknesses? We've talked about his strengths, now his weaknesses. Physicality and aerial ability: can be caught out in aerial duels, lower win rate, and sometimes lacks the raw power to determine or to dominate physical matchups. Case in point, Newcastle. It's out there just search the internet, you're going to see it. Consistency in volume: sometimes fades from games if not actively involved in the build-up. Case in point, Newcastle. So we've seen this, right? Let's keep going. Now, his tactical fit and role. Mainoo is a versatile hybrid midfielder who thrives when given freedom in a possession-based system. Possession-based system. We had a Ruben Amorim system that was possession-based. Kobbie struggled in that system. We look at the Grimsby Town game, it was there for all to see. He was outstanding for the most part of the game, but everybody was crap on that day against Grimsby Town in the early part of the season. Now, possession-based. Now we've moved to a transitional system, and he has faded consistently out of games, right? This is not me coming for Kobbie. I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this, right? Now, let's talk about the other aspects of. Now, his ideal role, right, is number 8, box to box. Okay. His best role is in a midfield 3, specifically as the left-sided central midfielder with freedom to drift into the left half space or link play in the final third. We're talking about his ideal role, right? In a double pivot number 6 or 8, he can operate in a double pivot, e.g. alongside Casemiro or Manuel Ugarte, where he acts as the primary ball carrier and progressor while his partner holds the deeper position. Okay. Under Ruben Amorim in a 3-4-3, 3-4-2-1, this was when I was doing my research, because this is like referencing my video. While, initially seen as the potential misfit due to his need for freedom versus the rigid system, he has proven crucial as a midfielder with big plans around him. Right? Now, he is considered the future of the midfield although his development requires careful management due to previous injuries. Okay. So let's do a screen share. I'm just going to show you what I'm seeing on my screen, and I'm just going to highlight, the video I'm talking about and how it was highlighted. I'm just going to show you my browser screen. Just look at this now. This is the video I'm talking about, right? Just in a regular Google search, this is what I found. And then under Ruben Amorim. So to tell you, see, June 30, 2025. So like we've talked about this, and I've done like multiple researches and stuff. But this one you can see here, right? Now, just to go back to what I was talking about, like I said, a simple Google search, Kobbie Mainoo's player profile and tactical fit, you will see this, right? Now, just looking at that, then you see, okay, what is Kobbie Mainoo, like what does Kobbie Mainoo bring? And I'm going to do this and then add some fan reactions, and then we'll be done. Now, key performance indicators as of 2024-2025 season. Maintains a high passing accuracy of approximately 87%. This season is like maybe 91%. High success rate in defensive duels in his own third, okay? And then capable of crucial goals versus Wolves, Liverpool, and Man City. This was basically according to Total Football Analysis. His profile as a controller, keyword controller, who can both defend and create makes him a modern, highly valuable asset, often compared to a younger, more mobile Nemanja Matic, or a player with similar tactical and technical quality of Clarence Seedorf. For those who have watched Clarence Seedorf, I've watched him, so I know what I'm talking about. For those who have watched Clarence Seedorf, that's the archetype, right? Now, I will give you what fans are saying, and then I will tell you what I think, first and foremost, right? Okay. Now, this is what this Man United fan had to say, and basically we're going to dissect it, and I'll tell you my thoughts, right? So just have a listen.
I have made one video about Kobbie Mainoo, and in that video I said some things that were very strong opinions, and I'm here to give more strong opinions. Now, you can draw a line and you can point the exact place where the opinion of fans, a section of our fan base, became bad from good on Kobbie Mainoo.
Now he's saying that Man United, that you can, and this is where I'm headed because I've watched this video before and I reacted to it and replied to him on the comments. Basically, he's saying that the issue with Kobbie Mainoo started with when people had concerns with him because of Ruben Amorim. And I'm going to debunk that and then let you know why I had to go that route. Before, we talked about so many narratives with regards to Kobbie Mainoo's style of play. And I'll tell you why Kobbie Mainoo has not been playing well. Just so many factors, but let's keep it going.
I don't think anybody did not like Kobbie Mainoo before Ruben Amorim came into the club.
So he's thrown Amorim's name in the hat as to the reason why Kobbie Mainoo has been poor. Okay.
And I think even when he came into the club and those pictures were trending, the pictures that he was with Kobbie Mainoo and Euro, people were very happy. Oh yeah, this guy is our star boy, yeah, the player who grew from our academy. And then suddenly Amorim says he's not good enough to start.
Now, Amorim did not say he's not good enough to start. Amorim says Kobbie Mainoo will start, and he's working with Kobbie Mainoo on different levels, and he needs Kobbie Mainoo to improve his speed, his agility, his speed, his mobility, and his just in total, what Amorim was trying to say is he needs to build his athleticism. So his speed, his mobility, and his something. There was a third thing that Amorim kept saying with regards to Kobbie Mainoo, and there are several factors that are around that. And basically, if everybody was decided to be patient with Amorim to see if he can build something with Kobbie Mainoo, we'll probably be saying a different story right now. Now, with this one, he's saying Amorim said, but Amorim never said. And I post his press conferences every now and then and analyze it. You never see where Amorim said Kobbie Mainoo is not good to start. That was a media narrative pushed by the likes of Jamie Jackson and co. Even Simon Stone at some point asking questions about Kobbie Mainoo and saying, "Oh, why is he not starting? He scored in the FA Cup final. Why can't against Manchester City? He's played in the Euros. Why are you not starting him?" Then Amorim says Kobbie Mainoo, in his exact words, is in contention for the position of that number 8 with Bruno Fernandes. That is what Amorim said. So it's not like Amorim came out and said, this guy is not good enough. The truth is, obviously, we all know Bruno Fernandes never gets injured. But when you look at it critically, you will understand that Amorim was trying his best to build a Kobbie Mainoo that works really hard. A Kobbie Mainoo that can be the player that he wants him to be. Mind you, last season when we finished 14th on the table or 15th or whatever people want to say, Kobbie Mainoo basically played most games. Yeah, albeit coming from the bench, was injured for the most part. So even kind of it stifled his progress under the team, under Amorim. And you look at that epic Europa League night against Olympique Lyon to multiple other times that Kobbie Mainoo had the chance to play. Then he went on a calf injury and then came back. And everyone was excited that Kobbie Mainoo was back. Ruben Amorim never came out to say Kobbie Mainoo is not good enough. Now, if I ask a question, just a simple Google search, what did Amorim say about? See, I just said say, and the question is about Mainoo, right? Ruben Amorim stated that he believes Kobbie Mainoo's talent. He believes in Kobbie Mainoo's talent, but demands more, challenging him to fight for his place and improve his intensity and his positioning to fit his system. Amorim defended leaving him out, saying he picks based on training performance rather than reputation. Bro, it's there. The press conferences are there. His high expectations. Amorim believes in Mainoo, but thinks he can be much better and has not always taken his opportunities. That's reported by United in Focus. Tactical fit. He noted that while Mainoo is good at controlling the game, he needs to add more pace and better understand the number 8 or 6 roles, reported by United in Focus again. Competition for places. Amorim stated that just because Mainoo is a proper player or starts for England, it does not guarantee him a place, as reported by the BBC. Fighting mentality. Amorim mentioned that Mainoo needed to adapt to a new style of play and fight for his spot. Where did Amorim say he's not good enough? Okay, let's keep it going. Like I said, it's the media narrative. Would you tell me that Bruno Fernandes wasn't outperforming Mainoo? No. But we all see it, and we can all tell. Okay, let's keep it going. Still, even Kobbie Mainoo being free, Bruno has still outperformed him every game. Okay, let's keep it going.
And then, now Amorim has left. This guy has played 6 games under Michael Carrick. And he has 2 assists. And there's a whole conversation that he makes back passes, makes side passes, he doesn't make enough forward passes, and that's simply not true.
See, it is actually true, because when you look at that, the game against West Ham, there was an opportunity for Kobbie Mainoo, because like right now as I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the game, right? I'm looking at the game, just the stats, because me and this wonderful guy had an argument about stats. The stats don't lie, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going simple, like FOPMOB stats on the lineup and everything, right? He says, oh, simply not true. It doesn't make bad passes and everything. Even that West Ham game was his better game. But I'm looking at that West Ham game as a question point. Played the full 90 minutes, 0 goals, 0 assists, expected goals 0.03, expected assists 0.03, expected goals and assists 0.03. Accurate passes 91%, which is normal average 64 of 70. Chances created, again, 0. Right? Defensive contributions, like I said, one of his better games, 10. right? 87 touches, one touch in the opposition box. That's somebody who is supposed to be a hybrid number 8 and everything. Successful dribbles, 1 of 250%. That was the unsuccessful one was the one where he ran into a cul-de-sac. Passes into the final third, 5. Dispossessed twice, right? That is the West Ham game. We go to the game against Fulham, because that was another one where I think Mainoo actually struggled in that one. But the team played well, and everything can paper under the cracks as well. He had a good performance on that day, but struggled in several. Now look at this. Played the full 90 minutes, expected goals 0.03, expected goals on target 0, expected assists 0.02, expected goals plus assists 0.05, accurate passes 86, 42 of 49 passes. Chances created 1, and that was it. Every other thing, defensive contributions was 12. I think in this one, I think Casemiro had 18 or whatever, 71 touches, and all of this was also another of his better games. Now, point I'm trying to make in all of this is that we're not discrediting his ability. In the game where you're chasing, you're drawing against West Ham, you want to pass, make a forward pass, but you have to pass back to Casemiro to make that forward pass. I compared it in that game, and the truth is, it's there for all to see. Like, there's no lie or trying to create a narrative or trying to create anything, out of nothing from there, right? We're not trying to do that. We are not trying to do that. You look at also in other situations where Kobbie Mainoo has come on in the 74th minute under Fletcher and all of that, and you see similar stats, like similar, right? So that was it, right? And the truth is absolutely what would I say? Okay, now you look at the lineup for the game against Brighton, where he played 62 minutes, right? Against Brighton under Darren Fletcher, played 62 minutes, right? He had 65 touches, he had 3 chances created, 4 defensive contributions, and his rating was 6.9. According to FOTMOB, right? Touches in the opposition box 0. Successful dribbles 0 of 1, 0%. Passing in final third 5. Accurate crosses 1 of 100%. Accurate long balls 1 of 250%. So what are we saying? He's the link play between the defensive midfielder and the attacking midfielder. But then he seems to struggle a lot in achieving that. And that is why we had the game we had at Newcastle, right? Now, this guy recorded this video before the Newcastle game. Let's keep it going.
Kobbie Mainoo is not the player. I think you should understand the profile of your player before you start talking about it.
Now, we have described the player profile before we played this video, and you will see what I'm trying to tell you.
Kobbie Mainoo is not a progressor of the ball with passes.
Progressor of the ball with passes, right? But in some games, he's had 11 passes into the final third, 5 passes into the final third, and all of that, but not a progressor of the ball with passes, right? Okay, keep going.
Yeah. A player who progresses the ball with passes is, what's his name now? The Crystal Palace guy, Adam Wharton.
Adam Wharton. Okay, we will go to the Palace game. The truth is, I like to analyze games and analyze things level-headed. You give Kobbie Mainoo his credit, but then you have to also come with facts and stats, right? He's not the progressor of the ball with passes. Adam Wharton is your progressor of the ball with passes. Let me tell you the player profile of Adam Wharton. If Adam Wharton comes to Manchester United, I can assure you Adam Wharton is not going to play defensive midfielder. He's going to be that same, in that role Kobbie Mainoo is playing. Because in the Crystal Palace squad, when they play Wharton, they must play Hughes right beside him, or Kamada. Go and check it anywhere. Now, we go to the lineup. We look at Adam Wharton's position. Adam Wharton is listed as a DM, so is Kamada, right? But he does not play DM. If you look at even his hit map and everything, 68 minutes played, right? Similar numbers to Kobbie. 21 of 26 passes, 81%. Kobbie is 81, 87, 91, that kind of. Now, you look at touches, 30, accurate long ball, 0 of 2. He just said Adam Wharton is a progressor of the ball with passes. Passes into the final third, 2, against Man United. So I'm comparing them with based on the game that they played together. Against Man United, 2 passes in the final third. Kobbie Mainoo had more passes into the final third than Adam Wharton in the Crystal Palace game. We look at that. Let's see. Passes into the final third, 4. What did Adam Wharton have? 2. Okay, similar numbers. Accurate long ball, 0 of 2. Defensive contributions, 6. What did Kobbie Mainoo have in the Palace game? Defensive contributions. We're looking at that. 10. Okay. Adam Wharton, right? Okay. Then you say, and I'm not using one game to judge Wharton. I'm just trying to make a point, right? And one thing I have to say before we keep going is that 2 things can be right at the same time and 2 things can be wrong at the same time. So, and I'm not trying to be right. I'm just trying to state the facts and make you all know that we need to actually give, even the media need to give Kobbie time to develop before we start piling and heaping pressure on him. Michael Carrick also said it, that we expect too much. We expect adult performance from a 20-year-old who just became an adult. Well, let's keep it going.
Yeah, Adam Wharton. Player progresses the ball, passes is Adam Wharton. Kobbie Mainoo is a ball carrier.
Ball carrier. I mentioned Kobbie Mainoo is a ball carrying player. But Adam Wharton did not even have as much ball carries as Kobbie Mainoo in that game. And he's a ball carrier, but didn't carry the ball. We'll keep going. If you want to talk about ball carriers, you talk about defensive midfielders like Carlos Baleba. These are ball carriers. People that will take the ball from midfield and run at you. Even Manuel Ugarte is a ball carrier. If you've seen Manuel Ugarte run at full speed when he's trying to carry the ball, or a ball carrier will chase the ball and run. A ball carrying midfielder. Manuel Ugarte has not had so many minutes to play, so you can't actually judge him on that. But Manuel Ugarte is a ball carrier. Keep going.
CMs have different profiles. I think that
he's listed as a CM. On FotMob, he's listed as a DM. Okay, cool. He can play CM, DM, and an attacking midfield, and that's what we started at the beginning. Okay, let's keep going.
Have that context before you start talking about the player, and that's not necessarily wrong in itself. It doesn't mean that he cannot do better, and he has done better.
He gives him credit by saying it doesn't mean that he cannot do better. He has done better. Facts. Okay.
You're pushing an agenda that he's not doing certain things, and you have no concrete proof.
Now, the reason why we say he's not doing certain things is because we know he can do certain things, and that is what Amorim said. We know he can do certain things. We know that he can improve. We expect him to be better. Nobody is saying that Kobbie Mainoo cannot be better. Nobody is saying that we're taking away taking away the credit of his ability to play. He can play. We know he can do these things. We've seen him do it, but he can do better. He should do better. In the Everton game, where was the intensity? Where was the ball carrying? How many ball carries did he have against in the Everton game? 1 or none? None. In the game before that, the Crystal Palace, I think he had like 3 or 2. And those ones were progressed by virtue of Bruno carrying the ball and running along. Same thing with the West Ham game. So what? Even the West Ham, there was a low block. So where's the chance for ball carrying? Bro, in a transition game, he's supposed to be a ball carrier, but he's not fast enough to be a ball carrier. So what do you do? Where do you find the strength in? Okay, cool.
To say he's not doing these things, accept your word for it. And that's why stats are important. You
called stats, and I backed it up with stats. Let's keep it going.
Be validated by stats. Yeah. Can your points pass or stand the stat test?
Stat test, eye test, both works. In the Everton game, everybody saw it that he started really slowly.
Can it? And if he cannot,
not in the Everton game, Crystal Palace game, and now the Newcastle game.
Cannot, it means your point is not objective, because stats are there for objectivity. Of course, there's the role of the eye test, but stats are there for objectivity.
You see how he ignored the eye test? He ignored the eye test. Okay, let's keep it going.
Objectivity. And like I said, you can draw an exact line and point the place where fans' opinion on Kobbie Mainoo changed.
Now he's pointing it back to Ruben Amorim. Meanwhile, these things have been there, right? Okay, let's keep it going.
And he is not necessarily doing anything different from what he was doing before then.
Nope. What he was doing before then was much better, because you had a younger Casemiro. You also had a Casemiro who trusted him and was ready to grow with him. But I think the divide came when Kobbie Mainoo decided with his family to go on and tell and disrespect the club by saying free Kobbie Mainoo. Let's keep it going. That's where the divide came. Not that Amorim caused it. The media caused it. They painted that narrative, and most fans fell for it.
And so where did all these things come from? Why do you expect a player who is not that profile to score a hat-trick in a game?
We never said Kobbie Mainoo score a hat-trick in a game. We said Kobbie Mainoo make forward passes. We said Kobbie Mainoo, you are the link between the defensive midfield and the attacking midfield. If you're playing as an 8 or a 10 or a 6, you're a ball playing, deep line playing, or whatever playing midfielder should do it. And the truth is, he's 20. Why I'm advocating for this, or why I'm getting pissed off about some of these things, is because I want Kobbie Mainoo to do better. Keep going.
Or to play 300 through balls. He's not that profile.
We don't expect him to play 300 through balls in a game, but at least play at least 5 or 6. Even Adam Wharton had 2 in a game. And Adam Wharton is kind of like the ilk of Kobbie Mainoo. And played only 68 minutes. Kobbie Mainoo played the whole 90 minutes.
He's doing his job. Kobbie Mainoo had a tidy game. He did not have a bad game.
Okay. Where does that put the Newcastle game? Let's keep it going. This was before the Newcastle game, but where does that put the Newcastle game?
I have to reiterate again. Kobbie Mainoo did not have a bad game against Crystal Palace. So where is all the opinions? Where are all the opinions coming from?
You talked about, it's the eye test, bro. It's the eye test. Everybody's seeing it.
From that he had a bad game. He should do more.
He should do more. Obviously, that's what fans want.
Better. This is the profile of player he is. And he is an important player in his own rights. A very good player in his own rights. He can improve, yes.
It's better you accepted that he can improve.
But there is a place for constructive criticism, and there's a place where you're criticizing because you do not like the player.
That's not the reason why most of us are criticizing Kobbie Mainoo. It's not even, it's a constructive criticism, a criticism that comes from the place of, we know this player can do it. Amorim said he knows this player can do it, and he wants the player to do it, but the player is not doing it. Simple. Now, this next reaction is from a good friend of mine, United Quaground, UKG, and he gave his own thoughts on Kobbie Mainoo's position, and we'll just listen to the video, and then I'll tell you my response to him, just to give you an understanding of where we're headed, right?
For me, Kobbie is a good 10. If I were to play Kobbie, I would play him as a 10. Kobbie is good in tight spaces and further up the pitch. And we saw him having those moments, especially the goals he scored. You remember the goals he scored, like the Lyon goal, the Wolves goal? Kobbie is good in those tight spaces, higher up the pitch, closer to the box. If you ask him like to drop deep, take the ball, run with it, or turn, pass closer to the opponent box, he's very good at it. That's why I want United. My hope and prayer is United, when they are signing midfielders, they don't have Kobbie in mind as one of the 2 pivots. They have him in mind as a number 10. Because I think Kobbie...
They have him in mind as a number 10. And what does that tell you? What Amorim was saying, Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno are competing for the same position. If Bruno is here again next season, because we're hearing rumors that he's going to stay, if Bruno is here again next season, and we're playing this 4-2-3-1, Kobbie Mainoo will be competing with Bruno again for the same number 10. Like, yeah. So, just walk with me. I'm going to somewhere. Let's go.
His best performance can come with him having that free role. Just have people around him and then tell him, you go and play.
Okay. Do
whatever you want. Play your best football. The same way Bruno does it. For me, I'd play Kobbie as a 10. Giving him a free role, I think Kobbie can be one of the best number 10s in the world. For me, Kobbie.
Now check out United. Check out KG UKG United Quaground, and you basically kind of see him give like really interesting takes. Now the reason why I brought that up, I'll tell you. The reason why I brought that up is because I looked online and I started seeing people's thoughts, and they were actually echoing what I was thinking. Right? Everybody's saying Kobbie can play as a number 10. This one say Kobbie can play as a deep line playmaker. This one say Kobbie can play as a number 8. He's a ball carrying midfielder. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Everybody's trying to profile him, right? Now, this is what I Am Commando on X said. Kobbie Mainoo, he's not a register. Controls the tempo from deep, right? So he does not control the tempo from deep, right? E.g. Andrapello and Jorginho. Okay, he's not a deep line playmaker. He cannot start the attack from deep like Xabi Alonso and Sergio Busquets. Fine, no doubt. Then he's not a box to box, covers both defensive and attacking areas. I mean, we've seen the numbers. Casemiro's numbers outdoes Kobbie Mainoo even more as a box to box midfielder than Kobbie Mainoo. If you compare Casemiro's heat map with Bruno's heat map, it's similar. But when you see Kobbie's one, it's a bit light. It's everywhere but nowhere. We're getting somewhere. He's not a defensive midfielder. FotMob lists him as a DM. Transfer Market will list him as a CM, but he can also be, if you see FotMob's profile, you see that he's a CM, DM, and an AM or AMF, right? Now, he's played all three roles, but you say he's not a defensive midfielder, destroyer, ball winner, and who protects the defense and breaks up attacks. Most definitely not, like N'Golo Kante and Casemiro. Yes. Now, that's why he was not competing with Casemiro for that position. Okay, he's not an advanced playmaker, creative midfielder like Bruno Fernandes or Kevin De Bruyne. Okay, he's a ball carrying, right? He's a ball carrying midfielder, right? He says he's not a Mezzala, that is an attacking central midfielder who drifts into half spaces to support the attack like Paul Pogba and Claudio Marchisio. These are players that were mentioned, right? He's not a Carrilero, that's a midfielder who covers wide spaces and supports both fullbacks and midfield, like the Arturo Vidals of this world. He's not a trequartista. A trequartista is one who operates between the midfield and the attack with freedom. Like, that is what people are, okay, he's this, but not this. He's this, but not this. Now, what exactly? That is the bottom line of this whole video. I'm sorry I have to wait till like 31 minutes to get where I'm going with this. What exactly is Kobbie Mainoo's profile and identity? That is my question. What is Kobbie Mainoo's profile and identity? So I saw that and I was like, oh, this actually makes sense with what the argument this person has. Another person says, let's stop pretending that this is only about Kobbie Mainoo. We all know it's not about Kobbie Mainoo, but Kobbie Mainoo is making the headlines. Some criticisms may be valid, but the real problem is bigger. This is a management failure enabled by fan culture. Amorim saw this early. He profiled Kobbie Mainoo correctly and knew he was not suited to be the number 8 role and not a number 6 either. His solution was clear. Drop him from the starting 11 when he's hard to play. Push him higher as a 10 where his limitations would not destabilize the midfield structure. This person is stating the story. Then he says, that was not accidental. With limited pace, physicality, defensive intensity, Amorim understood Kobbie Mainoo would expose central zones over 90 minutes. The evidence is there. Wins with him involved red cards. Facts. Just to keep this by the side. Wins with him involved red cards. The evidence is there. This person is stating some facts and we can't deny those facts, right? Wins with him involved red cards, individual brilliance, or moments of chaos. Wins without him often looked more balanced and controlled. And yes, the fans share the blame. We hype every average Carrington graduate into a future world beater. I'm not calling Kobbie Mainoo average. This is what this guy is saying. Inflate egos and remove pressure to and remove the pressure to improve fundamentals. Development dies when enthusiasm is replaced by blind protection. The last few games have been poor. We called it out. The performances were declining long before the results caught up. XG has dropped sharply. Nobody's going to talk about that. Shot volume has collapsed. Nobody's going to talk about that. Territorial control and sustained pressure, which were beginning to appear under Amorim, are gone. The players can see it too. There is no structure, no clear game model, no pressing scheme, no build-up patterns. Carrick is offering nothing tactically. Enough with the nostalgia, enough with the vibes. Carrick may be one of us, but he is not the man to lead this team to trophies. The club needs a serious manager at the end of the season, not the sentiment, not excuses, not recycled optimism. Reality has arrived. And we will see more of the reality in the next game, and I hope and I pray that we beat Aston Villa. But this is what Noah Nushad, MUFC, said on X. And he has a point. He absolutely has a point. So this is where I'm going to. What is Kobbie Mainoo's actual profile of player? What's his style of play? What does he offer? Right? What's he bringing to the team? Someone will come and tell me, oh, he's this, he's that. But you've seen that we've called out all of these players, all of these profiles, we've called out all of his abilities, and he's all of them and none of them. Especially, okay, in this 4-2-3-1, what's his position? Because anytime they press us, I brought you tactical explanations and everything. Every time they press us, there's a lot of space, and Kobbie Mainoo is jogging back because he's not fast enough, right? He has the intensity, he's good with in between, in tight spaces and all that. Could play up top as a number 10, but what is his Kobbie Mainoo's profile of player? Let me know in the comment section, because we could go on and on talking about this and we will not get to anywhere. But I just needed to bring this to your attention to let you know that we as Man United fans need to allow this player to develop, not pander to the media narratives, and let us all evolve together. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.